participating tonight. My name is Evan Franklin, and I have the honor to introduce our guest speaker tonight. However, before I introduce him, I would like to share with you some important information about Senator Kihuen and his accomplishments. A dedicated public servant, Senator Ruben Kihuen has committed himself personally and professionally to fighting for Nevada's families, students, and the underprivileged. Born in Guadalajara, Mexico, Senator Kihuen comes from humble beginnings. His parents moved him and his 3 siblings to Las Vegas in search for a better life. The senator draws inspiration from their hard work as field laborers and maids, remembering the other families who have shared the same immigrant experience. Senator Kihuen graduated from Rancho High School and earned his bachelor's degree from University of Nevada, Las Vegas in education. Currently, Senator Kihuen is attending Oklahoma for a master's degree in public administration. Senator Kihuen began his career at the College of Southern Nevada, first as a recruiter, then as an academic advisor, and finally, diversity programs manager. At CSN, he motivated and recruited hundreds of students, many from low-income minority backgrounds, to pursue their dreams in higher education. He also mobilized communities and activated voters as a field organizer in Nevada, Virginia, Florida, and Texas before becoming a regional representative for State Majority Leader Harry Reid. Senator Kihuen was awarded for his political savvy by the Nevada State Democratic Party by being elected as a national committeeman to the Democratic National Committee. For the last 3 years, Senator Kihuen has served as the state senator for District 10. In addition, he also the state majority whip and the chair of the Senate Revenue and Economic Development Committee. Prior to joining the Senate, Senator Kihuen spent 2 terms in the State Assembly as the first Hispanic immigrant ever elected to the Nevada legislature. He serves as one of the board directors, Aid for AIDS in Nevada, a past member, Clark County Community Development Advisory Committee, past member, North Las Vegas Citizens Advisory Committee, past member, Board of Directors, Volunteer Center of Nevada, and a former regional representative of the United States Majority Leader Harry Reid. Senator Kihuen, through the years, has achieved so many honors awards, such as Nevada Legislator Co-Freshman of the Year, Rising Star Award, and Clark County Democratic Party, John F. Kennedy Award, Nevada State Democratic Party, Hispanic of the Year, Latin Chamber of Commerce, Outstanding Political Activist, City of Las Vegas, and Nevada High School Soccer Player of the Year. Senator Ruben Kihuen is affiliated with the National Association of Latino Elected Appointed Officials, National Council of Hispanic Legislators, Latin Chamber of Commerce, and Professional Youth Building a Commitment, Payback. As an avid soccer fan, Ruben has played the sport for most of his life and continues to this day. Senator Kihuen also enjoys reading, traveling, motivating youth, soccer, weightlifting, exercising, and movies. It is my pleasure to thank him for his time and commitment and to introduce Senator Ruben Kihuen.
Thank you. How's everybody doing? Muy buenas tardes. First and foremost, let me say thank you to Evan Franklin. Evan, I have no doubt that in the near future, right now it's Senator Kihuen giving a town hall, but sometime in the future it might be a Governor Franklin representing here from K.O. Knudsen. So let's give him a round of applause. Let me tell you, he's a very sharp-dressed fella. I mean, he's got the little vest going for him. Thank you, Evan. And thank you to all of you for being here this evening. Muchísimas gracias a cada uno de ustedes por estar aquí en esta tarde acompañando a su servidor para hablar de la sesión legislativa. But before I do that, before I go into a little bit about the legislative session, I do want to say thank you so much to K.O. Knudsen for opening up their doors for us this evening. Hay que darle las gracias a K.O. Knudsen por abrir sus puertas y dejarnos estar aquí en esta tarde. So let's give him a round of applause, please. I want to thank Principal Monica Cortez. Principal, where are you? Okay, she stepped out. She's doing amazing things here at KO. I am proud to be the representative for this area, and I spend a lot of time visiting schools, and I know she's doing a lot of great things here. So let's give her a round of applause as well. Also to the students who gave the Pledge of Allegiance, Merca Mercado and Oceana Cunningham, thank you so much. Let's give them a round of applause as well. To the teachers, do we have any teachers here tonight? We do have a teacher. Please stand up. Let's give her a round of applause for everything that she's doing. And to any students who are here this evening, if you go to a high school here, middle school or elementary school, go ahead and stand up. And we are here because of you. Thank you so much. To Taqueria Arandas, I know some of you came here to listen to an update on the legislature, but I know a lot of you came here to eat some good tacos from Taquerias Arandas. So Taquerias, they're going to be tacos. Unlimited almost after this town hall. So let's give Taquerias Arandas a round of applause. Now y'all better leave me some, because I came hungry from Carson City. They don't feed us too well up there. And to the Ramirez group for putting this together, for organizing the emails and the tweets and the staff. So let's give a round of applause. Raise your hand if you're here with Ramirez group. Thank you so much. Thank you. Now, I know there's a concert going on next door, so if you mistakenly came in here, I promise you I'm not going to sing any songs, because I may lose some votes, or I may lose my re-election next year. There's a reason why I do politics and not music. So to our mariachi, let's give them a round of applause, because they're amazing. Thank you so much. Now, as most of you know, right now we're in the middle of the legislative session. We are about 18 days away from finishing up in Carson City. And for those of you who are not familiar with the legislature, we meet one time every 2 years for 120 days. Think about that. We meet one time every 2 years for 120 days. And we are expected during those 120 days to pass a budget, to pass laws that will have a significant impact in our community, for the betterment of our community. And so right now, I spent the last 3 months in Carson City representing this district, District number 10. So if you live around this area, I am your representative. And I do want to say thank you for giving me the opportunity to be able to serve you, because this is truly public service. We get paid about $8,700 for the entire session. So while we're out there, we get, people think that we have we live in a mansion and we get our private jets and we get paid this, incredible salary, but we really don't. There's the U.S. senators and then there's the state senators. And so when we're in Carson City, we're leaving our families behind. We have to move to Carson City for those 120 days. And so it really is a sacrifice. And so I want to say thank you for giving me that opportunity to serve you. Now, there's 63 legislators. And right now I'm just going very briefly through what the legislature is for the people who don't really know. Estoy explicando un poquito de qué es la legislatura. ¿Por qué la razón de que estoy viviendo en Carson City? La sesión legislativa dura aproximadamente 120 días y nos reunimos una vez cada 2 años por 4 meses. Así que ahorita se está llevando a cabo la sesión legislativa y es donde estamos llevando a cabo las propuestas para mejorar el estado de Nevada. Now there's 63 legislators. There's 42 assembly members, and then there's 21 state senators. So between the 42 assembly members and the 21 state senators, we get together in Carson City to make the laws for the state, and to pass a budget that will fund education, that will fund our highways so we can maintain them and build some new ones, health and human services, and so on and so on. And so that is where we are right now. I know Evan mentioned that I'm the Senate Majority Whip. Unfortunately, this session I'm serving as the Minority Whip. My party lost pretty badly the election in November, and so we went from being in the majority to now being in the minority, but I still have the honor of serving as the Minority Whip. And my responsibility as the Whip is to negotiate between our caucus, the Democratic caucus, and the Republican caucus to try to come to compromise on bills that we may not agree on. I also get to count the votes in our caucus, so if there's a vote that's going to be contentious, that I may think that there's a legislator that might, somebody from my caucus that might want to vote against the bill, it's my responsibility to make sure that, that he or she is on board, or if they're not, what can we do to work together to make sure that we get their support. So that is what the Whip does. Now, part of the reason why I serve in office is because, as it was mentioned, I was born in Mexico. When I got elected in 2006, I became the first Hispanic immigrant in Nevada history to get elected. Actually, my father, who is here with us this evening, which, by the way, let's give him a round of applause. My dad right there. He would stand up, but he just had a foot surgery, so we don't want him to get injured furthermore. But my father came to this country when I was 8 years old. Mi papá vino de México a este país cuando yo tenía 8 años, de Guadalajara, Jalisco. Y cuando llegué a este país, nosotros no teníamos mucho. We arrived to this country with not much. We didn't have much money, a place to live. We didn't have many friends or family or relatives. And so we knew that if you wanted to accomplish the American dream in this country, that you had to work hard, that you had to sacrifice, that you had to educate yourself and prepare yourself and play by the rules. And that's exactly what my father did. And because of him, I'm able to stand up here today as a state senator and also be able to fight for the same opportunities that were afforded to me for everybody else. And so when I ran for office, I made a promise that I wouldn't forget where I came from. This is my old neighborhood. Not too far from here is where I lived. Not too far from here is where I live now. And so for me, it's always an honor to come back and reconnect with the community. Now, achieving that American dream means that, you can be afforded to that good quality job, to good quality health care, to be able to have your own house, your own car, and be able to afford those opportunities for your kids that you've always wanted. And I know I see a lot of kids here right now. Raise your hand if you're a parent here in the Clark County School District. Raise your hand. Let's give them a round of applause for everything that they're doing to educate. They're doing everything for their kids to make sure that they get the best education possible. Now, I want to talk about some of the bills. Before I open it up for questions, I do want to talk about some of the bills that are being considered right now in the legislature that I think are going to have a positive, significant impact on our community. As a lot of you know, when the economy sank here in Nevada starting in 2007, part of the reason why the economy sank was because our state does not have a diversified economy. So we depend on two industries. We depend on tourism and we depend on mining. And so when our economy is down, people don't come to Vegas. And if people don't come to Vegas, the casinos are not making money. If the casinos are not making money, then they lay people off. If they lay people off, then they lose their house. If they lose their house, they're losing their livelihood. So it is imperative that we diversify our economy here in the state of Nevada. What does that mean? That means that we have to stop depending on tourism and on mining. We need to make sure that we're bringing in industries like technology, manufacturing, aviation here into the state of Nevada. But how do we do that? When I chaired the Senate Revenue Committee, I had a lot of executives from companies from out of the country and out of the state that said, you know what, Senator? I would relocate to Nevada, but you don't have a good education system. We don't want to bring our kids to Nevada because we don't want them to have a less than exceptional education. And so here's companies that wanted to relocate to Nevada. They wanted to bring hundreds of jobs to our state and diversify our state. But they said, we're not coming here because you need to be committed to improving your education system. And so this legislative session, for the first time in a long time, Republicans, Democrats, assembly members, senators, the governor are all on the same page in that we all need to fund education, that should be our priority. Now again, it's not all about just throwing money into a problem. You know, there's got to be accountability. And that is exactly what we're doing this legislative session. We're hoping that by 3 weeks from now, when the session adjourns, that we have a budget that will properly fund our education system and that will have a stable revenue into our state. Now, what are some of those initiatives that we're working on? I want to touch a little bit on some of them. We have Senate Bill 405, which is the Zoom schools. You know, right now in the state of Nevada, we have approximately 70,000 students who are ELL. Now, when you think about our high school dropout rate, just a few years ago, we were at 50%. Think about this. Half of our students were dropping out of school in the state of Nevada. So we were analyzing the situation and said, why is it? Why is it that these students are dropping out? One of the reasons we found is that these 70,000 ELL students, is not that they're incompetent, is not that they don't know English or math, it's not that they don't know writing or math, but it's because they're not proficient in English. And so for the first time, last legislative session, we invested $50 million in ELL programs to make sure that the teachers, the staff, and the parents had the tools to be able to prepare those kids to be able to stay in school and graduate. Now, that's been one of the most successful programs thus far, where we've invested money in the last 2 years. This session, we're back. The Clark County School District came to the legislature. They presented the numbers. They presented all of the results from using this $50 million in ELL students. And 100% of the students who were in this program ended up being English proficient by the end of the school year. And so it's working. Again, we don't want to just throw money at a problem. We want to make sure that it's showing results. And that is one of the bills that we're continuing to work. It's SB 405. There's various sponsors, so I don't want to take credit for these bills. I will give credit whenever there's legislators specifically who are working on these. But for some of these bills, all of us have been working on them since last legislative session, particularly Assemblywoman Olivia Diaz, Senator Mo Dennis, and I know that the governor has been committed to making sure that these funds are there. AB 278, Assembly Bill 278, this is for class size reduction. This basically requires that the Department of Education develop a plan to reduce the student ratio in overcrowded classrooms. Now, I know I see some teachers in here. For a lot of them, when you show up to their class, they have between 30 and 40 students. And in many times, the kids don't have a chair to sit or a desk. And so part of it is making sure that we put together a plan that shows accountability, that the school district is working towards reducing the class sizes here in our school district. It is shown results that when there's a smaller classroom, that the students get more personalized attention and then they get better results. And so we're working on AB 278. AB 27 was just signed by the governor this morning. And part of it is, yeah, we got an applause over there, thank you. Somebody's staying informed. So what is AB 27? I mean, all you just clap, but it's a great bill, it really is. This bill is going to help reduce the teacher shortage. So right now, we have approximately a 2,000 plus teacher shortage in Nevada. So between now and the next school year, when it begins, we need to find over 2,000 teachers. We need to recruit them. And not only that, but we need to maintain the ones that we have. And so we passed this bill, AB 27, for the students who are dreamers. For the students who are here undocumented, that are going to college, which they're allowed to do. They're getting educated. They're going through college. They're paying their tuition out of their pocket many times. They're preparing to get a college degree. But before, when they got their college degree, they would not qualify to be able to be teachers because they couldn't apply for a teacher license. So with AB 27 that was signed by the governor this morning, now those dreamers are able to become teachers and accomplish their dreams here in the United States. Hay personas que nomás hablan de español. Ok, porque si quieren puedo hablar un poquito más en español, pero estoy dando un informe de las propuestas de las cuales estamos trabajando en la legislatura ahorita actualmente. Así que si prefieren, si hay personas que nomás hablan español, podemos hablar específicamente cuando terminemos de estas propuestas, pero también voy a estar haciendo un poquito en español, un poquito en inglés. Another bill that unfortunately died on this past legislative session in the last few weeks was SB 345. This is the full-day kindergarten to make sure that it's fully funded. Unfortunately, the leadership from the other party decided that they didn't want to move forward with this bill because it was too expensive. Again, another program that shows results that when you start the kids young and you give them the proper education at a young age, they go on to become successful in school and they have higher graduation rates. So again, we still have full-day kindergarten in many schools. This was going to expand it to the rest of them, but unfortunately the bill is no longer there. But I thought it was worth mentioning just because it is something that we've been fighting for, something that we helped fund in the past, but we're going to continue fighting forward. What's that? That's right. And that's why people have. That's why people have to show up and vote, because elections have consequences. AB 175. This is the Uber bill. Now you're probably thinking, how is this related to education? How many of you guys know what Uber is? Raise your hand. Okay. I'll be honest with you. Before this legislative session, I had no idea what Uber was. I used to always take taxi cabs and pay outrageous amounts, but anyway, that's a whole other conversation. But now there's a bill to allow Uber here in the state of Nevada. They did business here for a little while, and unfortunately they pulled their license and they said, you know what, you can't right now until you get this passed through legislature. And so now we have a bill, AB 175. This bill would approximately raise about $70 to $90 million by charging a fee, and that money will go to the state of Nevada, and it would be used number one to help fund a medical school here in Southern Nevada. Now, why do we need a medical school? You're probably asking. With the Obamacare or the Affordable Care Act, more people qualify now to get health insurance, meaning that more people are going to go to the hospital, meaning that the hospitals are going to get overwhelmed with work, and they might not have the healthcare providers to provide healthcare to those that are in need. And so by having a medical school here in Southern Nevada, we're able to train our own, prepare them, and be able to be a feeder institution into our local hospitals so we can meet the demands of the folks, of the people. And so that would help fund the medical school. It would help fund the teacher shortage that we have here to help recruit and retain new teachers to the state of Nevada. And lastly, it would be used for the highway fund. And the highway fund is to build our new roads and to fix the ones that, sometimes you drive by a street and there's a hole or they need a speed bump somewhere. This helps fund some of those projects. Higher education. There's two particular bills that I want to talk about very briefly. One of them is my bill that I'm working on. This is the Silver State Opportunity Grants for the state of Nevada. So you know how right now college students can apply for Pell Grants? This is a federal grant. And you can get, I think it's up to like $5,500, $6,000. And they can use this to pay for their college education. Most of the states in the United States have a state grants, meaning that they can apply for the federal grants and they can get state grants. Well, Nevada is one of the only states that does not have state grants. And so myself and Senator Kihuen, a Republican from Reno, we both teamed up and said, you know what, let's put partisanship aside, let's work together to accomplish something good for the state, and let's get this bill passed. This bill is it has a $10 million price tag, and it would basically allow $5 million per year. So students who are from low-income communities. So basically, when I was growing up, my dad or my mom couldn't just say, hey, here's your college tuition, or here are the savings that we put together so you can pay for your college education. It was basically, I need to go out and apply for scholarships, for Pell Grants, for any type of work study at the College of Southern Nevada to get by. And I was always looking for a bargain. If there was an offer where they're offering a free class, I would definitely take advantage of it. Low-income students, students who are in need, should not have to be begging if they want to go to college. We should be able to afford them an opportunity to go to college if they want. And this state grant will help some of those students who might be getting the federal grant, they might be getting the Millennium Scholarship, they might be getting other scholarships, but this is going to help bridge that gap, because a lot of those students still cannot pay for their college tuition. And so, and I know we have some higher education professionals here, which, by the way, let's give them a round of applause for everything they're doing. The second proposal, SB 399. This is by Senator Dennis, myself, and a few others. The Nevada Boost Grant Program. This basically will allow need-based students, similar to the state grants, to get up to $2,000 per semester to help pay for the first year for a community college here in Southern Nevada. So if a low-income student that shows need, that wants to go to college, that does not have the money to go to college, wants to go to college, this is going to be another opportunity for them to tap into some money to be able to pay for their college education. A couple others, and then I promise I'll open it up for questions for anybody. On some of the social issues, I know that immigration is not a state issue. Immigration is a federal issue. But here in the state of Nevada, we have one of the highest percentages per capita of immigrants in the whole country. And a lot of those immigrants are here undocumented. And statistics show that here in the United States, if you legalize undocumented people, which is up to 11 million in the country, that not only will it help keep families together, but it would also give them an opportunity to be able to pay taxes, to contribute to the economy, and to create jobs in the country. They're talking about over $1.5 billion in economic impact here in the state of Nevada. What does that mean? That means job creation. That means that when these undocumented people are able to pay taxes, spend money, get a job, they're able to make money and spend money, that means that businesses are going to thrive, that means the businesses are going to grow, and that means the businesses are going to start hiring more people. So, since the federal government hasn't taken action on immigration reform, we just recently introduced the Senate Joint Resolution 21 that urges Congress to pass immigration reform. Again, it's just sending them a message that Nevada, which over 70% of Nevada support immigration reform, want to pass. And so, y para los que hablan español, esta propuesta particularmente creo que es de importancia para la comunidad latina. Tenemos una resolución para mandarle un mensaje al gobierno federal de que pase una reforma de migración. Yo sé que tenemos aquí activistas que han estado trabajando arduamente para pasar una reforma. Doña Lupe, yo sé que usted está en las marchas, y esta es para presentar una resolución para mandársela al Congreso de los Estados Unidos para decirle que el estado de Nevada quiere que se pase una reforma de migración. Así que a nivel estatal no hay mucho que nosotros podamos hacer porque somos senadores estatales, no senadores federales. Así que esto es lo máximo que nosotros podemos hacer marchas, pero como dije ahorita hace unos minutos, lo más importante que podemos hacer como comunidad, para los que pueden, es de salir a votar. Es de registrarse y salir a votar, porque esas 11 millones de personas que están aquí indocumentadas necesitan una voz. Necesitan a alguien que salga y vote de parte de ellos. Así que esta resolución es para mandar un mensaje. Three more, and I promise I'll open up for questions. Childcare. Right now, you know, there's a lot of single mothers, a lot of single fathers who are working to make ends meet. You know, there's a lot of parents who I know spend a lot more money paying for their child care than they do for their tuition as they're going to college, trying to get back on their feet. So this is a very interesting fact that I presented during the committee. It costs more to pay for child care for one of your children than the tuition for UNR. Think about that. It's a lot more expensive to keep your child in child care, in daycare, than it costs to go to the university. And so